Hi, welcome to Fun Little Movies. Come on in.
Marge said it might be time to go by and see Frankie Greenshirt's Chindamo. He knew Marge had a thing about green, but Frankie, he didn't care.
I want you to meet Lynn Chindamo, my wife and the creator of all our concepts and ideas. She's wonderful. This is Ron Friedman, who's starring in our show today. Ron, one of the funniest men that ever lived and a fellow professor with me at USC. This is Kevin Webb. Kevin is our business development associate. And this is Pat Murphy, the gaffer on our show today. You've got Nick Alexander. Nick is our chief technical officer and our
chief operating officer.
Thank you, Nick. Very good. You got Ryan. Ryan is our staff editor. Ryan Tweedy. Matt Friedman. When you send your content submissions, Matt's the guy who reviews them. And he's our staff producer as well. Then you've got Ben Hissler. Ben is shooting stills today. Come on back here and you'll see our set. This is our shooting set right here. And you've got John Rohde and the team of Crosslight, and that's John Rohde right there. This is Fun Little Movies.
So Frank, it's so nice to speak with you and have you here on Production Tech Tips. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marge.
How do you go about getting your movies on a mobile application?
The way we get our films onto the phones is that we have direct relationships either with the carriers, like we do with Sprint, or we'll go through another party like Mobi TV, that's our newest partner that puts us on Sprint, or we'll go directly through a handset manufacturer like Nokia.
Okay. Did you start off with one provider and then branch out, basically?
Yeah, we started off, we launched on Sprint phones as the first movie channel, the first comedy movie channel on Sprint phones in 2004. We've been live since that. We produce and we distribute. It's a yin-yang sort of thing. So on the one side, we're producing, we're co-producing, and we're licensing content. And on the other side, we're taking that content to format it and to distribute it to all the different contracts that we have, like Sprint, and to get it out to all the distribution networks. That's how we make money at it. Producing is loss of revenue, distributing is garnering revenue, right? So it's an ever-widening circle of things that we do.
I wanted to ask you about how you go about creating your content, and if there's anything in particular that you're doing on a technical basis to make the movies really pop and stand out on a phone or a tiny little screen on your mobile device.
When you are producing for the small screen, you want to remember that it's a small screen, so you want to rely on a lot of close-ups. The second thing is you want to try and have a locked-off camera, because if the camera is moving around, then it's redrawing the image each time. It makes for a much bigger file. You want to have as small a file as possible. The third thing is that you want to have as much color differentiation as possible. So my green shirt against this rust couch is going to be okay. If I wore this green shirt against a green screen, that wouldn't be so good.
It does go well with the rust-colored shirt. Actually, that's something that I wouldn't have thought of, so I'm glad that you spoke about that. Not that I wouldn't have thought of asking it, but I wouldn't have thought of the importance so much.
Okay. Keep it short, keep it simple, and if you're doing a comedy, make it funny right away. People have to know that it's a comedy in the first 10 seconds, or they'll just tune out. So how do you find Fun Little Movies on a Sprint phone? Well, you would go to the Sprint TV, and then you go into the movies and shorts section, and then there is the #2 channel right after Sprint's own movies itself is Fun Little Movies.
So this is how you would get to the Fun Little Movies on an iPhone.
Okay.
You click on the app right here.
Okay.
And basically it's just a web page that's made for viewing on mobile. Shows you how to get it on all these different services depending on what you're using. And these images right here are actually linked to videos themselves. So you can just click on one of those.
Do you know what the specs are of what you supplied so that it comes up looking so well?
You usually want to put something that's 640 by 480 on there.
Okay.
In widescreen is better, of course, because of the screen. And this series was actually shot at 2K resolution. You could project this in a theater and it would look fantastic. But we've adapted it for mobile here. It's always better to start at a higher resolution and down res for all the different devices you're going to, because they're all going to be different anyway.
Marge was hot on the trail, and she wasn't through with Frankie Greenshirts.